how to use the verb I, which means there is and there are, as opposed to the verb estar. Normally, we explain the differences between these two verbs because if you remember, one of the uses of the verb estar is to describe the location where somebody or something is. And the verb I, in this case, we are comparing the third person of the singular of the verb haber, that will be your infinitive. I is normally explained with the verb estar because the verb I is to acknowledge the existence of somebody or something in a place, which is a slightly different as to say that somebody or something is in fact in a place. So we are going to see some examples on that. The differences between the English and the Spanish are very, very clear, as well as other words around the phrase that are going to tell you and give you an indication of which verb is the correct to use each time. So on the slide, on the left-hand side, we've got the phrase, the boy is in the park. So like we've learned in the previous slides, the way you would say that in Spanish is el niño está en el parque. So you know who the boy is. That would be one of the main differences between I and estar. And you know who the boy is and you know where he is. So the boy is in the park. You probably know who the boy is as well. So that's another difference in comparison to saying there is a boy in the park. You may know the boy, you probably don't know him, you're just acknowledging that there is a boy in the park. And in that case, in Spanish, you would use the verb I instead of está. So to say there is a boy in the park, next example down, we would say in Spanish, hay un niño en el parque. So notice the differences. Notice that if you want to say that the boy is in the park, definitely you will use the verb estar. And if you just want to acknowledge that there is a boy in the park, then we just say hay un niño en el parque. So you probably don't know who that person is. Now, in the English language, we have there is and we have there are. There is for the singular, there is one boy in the park, or there are some boys in the park for the plural. In the Spanish, in this case, is a lot simpler because we use the word I for both the singular and the plural. So to say there is a boy in the park, hay un niño en el parque. And to say there are some boys in the park, hay unos niños en el parque. Now, we've got the verb in the third person of the singular, which is the one that we use to acknowledge the existence of somebody or something in a place, and the comparison that we make with the verb estar. And also on this slide, we're going to be learning the Spanish indefinite articles. So we've already learned the definite articles, and the use of these words is in the name of them. So definite articles, el, la, los, las, are to talk about the people and things that we know who or what they definitely are. And undefinite articles are the undefinite people or undefinite things that we're talking about. So we will use un, una, unos, and unas for our singular masculine un, our singular feminine una, our plural masculine unos, and our plural feminine unas. And we will explain in the next slide how all these comes together with the verbs estar and hay.